Alright mate, how you doing? Welcome back to another episode of Accumulate, where I try my best to predict the upcoming Premier League fixture results, but I don't do it on my own. I take on FIFA 15 where we simulate the games, and always a different opponent every episode. And today's opponent is going to be none other than my old man, aka, he doesn't like me calling him that, my dad, right? I've already taken on my brother. It's time for a next member of the family household to try and take on me and see if they can get more results right. Before we start though, we need to do two things. First of all, mention that this is sponsored by the Fantasy Football Exchange, the future of fantasy football. I'm going to talk about it a little bit at the end of the video, but there's a brand new league for this game week, just for this game week, where you can make your team and potentially win a lot of money. I'll tell you about it at the end, so make sure you stay tuned for that. There's a link in the description. The second thing to tell you about is the league table. We need to look at the Accumulate league table and see where things stand. Now, you may remember last episode I took on Nick 28T, and he absolutely smashed it. You know, I was surprised because he picked a lot of away wins, but this time it came through for him. He got a 70% correct score. 7 of his 10 predictions came in, so he goes straight to the top of the league, level with Chris MD, who also got 70% on his debut on the series. I'm completely level with FIFA in 5th and 6th place. We both got 43% correct score, over 61 guesses, so we've had quite a lot of guesses now. You guys smashed it the most though, I've got to say. I'll let you guys have a vote. You know, I'm going to do it again this episode. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to have a say on what you think will happen in these 10 games. You guys got 80% right. You absolutely smashed it. If you do that again this week, I'm pretty confident you'll be going to the top of the league in no time. If we look at the bottom half of the leaderboard, you'll see that when my brother had a go, he didn't do that well. He only got 20% right. So I'm sure my dad will be hoping to beat Seb's score. But before we go and find out what my dad thinks will happen, let's take a look at what FIFA 15 thinks will happen in this weekend's Premier League games. Okay, the first game we're looking at is Hull versus Newcastle, and it starts off well for the Geordie lads when Perez puts the ball in the back of the net. He's been on good form this season, but in the 59th minute, Livermore evens things up. He just runs through a hole in the Geordie defence, makes it 1-1, and that's the way FIFA thinks things are going to happen in this game. A 1-1 draw, 1 point apiece. Second game is Crystal Palace versus Everton, and look at this goal from Lukaku. Hits it on the first touch with his back to goal. It's an unbelievable strike, son. Something that only Belgians can do. And that's the way it finishes. The wonder goal from Romelu wins the 3 points for Everton. Crystal Palace lose under Pardew. Next game is Liverpool versus West Ham. It's my team, and it hurt me to see Coutinho cut our defence apart. He ran into the box, no one stopped him. They went 1-0 up, but then the return of Andy Carroll. Bang! Look at that header. Look at this man. He's against a team where it didn't work out for him, and he's showing people he is worth the money with a second goal. Yes, that's right. West Ham come back from 1-0 down to win the game 2-1 in spectacular fashion. Thank you, Andy Carroll. 3 points for the Hammers according to FIFA. Next game was Manchester United versus Leicester, and this little scenario here where no one's doing anything pretty much resembles the whole game. It was 0-0, nothing happened, a draw, a disappointing draw for United. Next up is Stoke versus QPR, and you guessed it, they don't come along on their own, they always come in pairs. Another 0-0 draw, 1 point for Stoke, 1 point for QPR. Sunderland versus Burnley does have a goal, I can confirm it has more than one. First one goes to Fletcher. Look at this strike. Cheeky left foot, keeper can't do anything about it. 1-0 to Sunderland, and then Fletcher must be on form. He fancies an in-form card in Ultimate Team because he bangs a second one in. This one on the right foot, making it 2-0 to Sunderland. The Black Cats are laughing. 3 points at the Stadium of Light, nothing for Burnley. And West Brom versus Spurs is another one of the classic simulation 0-0 draws, no goals, 1 point apiece according to FIFA. But the biggest game of the weekend could be a title race decided. Chelsea versus Man City, and Hazard strikes the first blow. 1-0. Cheeky little header. Man City fans won't be happy, and they do get someone sent off. You can see the red card in the top corner. 3 points to Chelsea. Is that going to mean they win the title? FIFA thinks they could. Arsenal are hosting Aston Villa at the Emirates, and it doesn't start well for the Gunners when Delph passes to Benteke. He hits a shot. Very dodgy deflection, I have to say. They go 1-0 up away, but the Gunners turn things around. Oxlade-Chamberlain finds Ramsey, who hits a shot, can't be saved properly, and who follows it up? Alexi bloody Sanchez. He loves a goal. He makes it 1-1, and that's the way it finishes, a 1-1 draw. No winners, 1 point apiece at the Emirates. The final game of the weekend is Southampton versus Swansea. It looked like it was going to be a 0-0 draw until in the 84th minute, Southampton gave away a penalty. Swansea step up, Gomi hits it, makes it 1-0, a very late winner indeed. Hard to take for the Southampton fans, but that's the way it finishes. FIFA thinks Swansea are going to pull off an upset away at St Mary's and get the 3 points and take them back to Wales with them. That's the way it finishes. They're FIFA's predictions. Let's take a look at what Papa Spencer thinks will happen.
Hi there, I'm Steve. I'm Spencer's dad, and I'm taking him on football predictions. I've got a few years on him, so let's see how I do. Hull v Newcastle. I think they've both got a lot of injuries. I'm not sure when they're coming back, so I think I'm going to go for a draw there. Crystal Palace v Everton. Obviously, Crystal Palace have got Pards. He's doing really well. Everton, I think they've got quite a few injuries. I think some of them are coming back. Crystal Palace, well, I think I'm going to go for a draw there as well. Liverpool v West Ham. West Ham, my team. Normally I would say Liverpool are going to smash us, but this year we've done them at home already. So I'm going to go for a draw there as well. Oh, Man U versus Leicester. Man U are going to want to prove something after drawing against Cambridge. So I think they're going to come out all guns blazing. I'm going to go for a Man U win. Stoke v QPR. Harry's there, isn't he, for QPR? He's not doing so well. Tricky one. I think I'm going to go for a draw there. Sunderland v Burnley. Well, I probably would normally have gone for a draw there. Yeah, I'm going to have to go for a draw, sorry. West Brom, they've got Tony Pulis in, haven't they? So he's going to be doing well. Spurs, I think I'm going to go for West Brom win. Chelsea v Man City, this is a big one. It's sort of easy to say a draw there. Chelsea really want to prove a point after the FA Cup exit. I'm going to tip Chelsea for a win. Arsenal v Villa. Arsenal have got a few players back now, so I think they're going to be too strong for Villa. I'm going for an Arsenal win. Southampton, Swansea. There's a Dutchman there. Southampton doing well, not sure, but I'm going to go for a Southampton win. Okay, that's my predictions for the weekend. See how I do. There are a lot of draws in there. I don't do the pools, maybe I should. See how I do.
Okay, we've got FIFA's predictions, we've got my dad's predictions. Let's take a look at my predictions. Now, me and my dad actually agree on the first two games. I also think Hull versus Newcastle will be a draw. I think Palace versus Everton is going to be a draw as well. However, I'm the only one of the three of us that actually thinks Liverpool are going to beat West Ham. I wish they wouldn't. I'd love for us to get the win or even a draw, but I do think Liverpool are going to get the 3 points at home. Man United, Leicester, yes, I'm going with a Man United win. They're going to get revenge for what happened when Leicester beat them earlier. Stoke versus QPR. I'm going for Stoke at home. Sunderland versus Burnley, I think that's going to be a draw. And I think the next two games are also going to be a draw. West Brom versus Spurs and the big one, Chelsea versus Man City. It's difficult to pick between the two teams, but I think Man City are going to hold on, because if they lose, they could be in trouble for the title. Arsenal versus Aston Villa, I'm going for Arsenal. And Southampton versus Swansea, another home win, I'm going for Southampton. So there you go, the predictions are in. Don't forget to have your say. There's 10 different straw poll links in the description, each one where you can go to vote on the result of a different game. Make sure you click them, choose whether you think it's going to be a home win, a away win or a draw, and again I'll collate them to make the official viewer votes, and we'll see if you guys can do well, because you smashed it last week. And before we go, I want to tell you about the Fantasy Football Exchange brand new league that started just for this game week 23. There's £1,000 guaranteed up for grabs. It costs £5 to enter, and you're only making a team for this week, so it doesn't matter if you can't check it week after week after week like some other fantasy football websites. It's just a 1 week only. I've made a team, I've put my £5 down, I'm hoping to win. You know, there's a lot of money available in this league. I reckon I've got a chance. Let's take a look at my team. Starting off in goal, I've gone with De Gea, because they're playing Leicester. I think Man United could keep a clean sheet. They want to get revenge for the last fixture when Leicester actually beat them at their place. And De Gea is in amazing form, so I think he can keep doing what he's doing. 3 at the back, Bertrand, Terry and Shawcross. I think that Bertrand is one of the most informed defenders in terms of fantasy football points in the league. Terry is playing Man City. I wasn't sure if to go over Chelsea defender, but I feel like he can do a good job if he plays, because obviously they've just played that big long game against Liverpool in the Capital One Cup. And Shawcross at the back, he's going to play. Stoke at home are hard to beat. Cazorla's in unbelievable form for Arsenal. They're at home against Villa. I'm really hoping Downing can get revenge of sorts against Liverpool, where he didn't have a great time as a player, but he's in amazing form for West Ham. One of the most on-form English midfielders in the country by far. So I'm looking forward to seeing him maybe get a cheeky assist against Liverpool if possible. And up front, I've got a deadly three of Diego Costa, Alexis Sanchez and Berahino. Diego Costa against City. I reckon that's the sort of game he could get a goal in. Sanchez has just been so good for Arsenal this season. Hopefully against Villa he can do some more damage. And Berahino for West Brom, a little bit cheaper than the other two strikers. He's playing against Spurs. I fancy him for a cheeky goal maybe. So that's my team. What do you think? Think you can do better? Why not go over to Fantasy Football Exchange? There's a link in the description. Join the £5 entry Game Week 23 League and you could have a chance of winning that £1,000 jackpot. Oh my gosh. That's it for today's episode, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll be back with a new video tomorrow and we'll see the results of this Accumulate episode on the next Accumulate episode. Drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new. I'll see you on the next one. Don't go changing.